Welcome back to Breakfast Central. Now we're following up with an update on the story where we've been talking about the unfortunate murder of Bolanle Rahim. Lagos State Police Commissioner Abiodun Alabi has visited the residence of the late Bolanle Rahim, a lawyer who was shot in an accident involving a police officer on Sunday. Speaking during the visit at the residence of the slain lawyer located at the Ajah axis of Lagos State on Tuesday evening, the police commissioner says that the family should be rest assured that justice will prevail.
The mother of the later Bolanle Rahim was shot dead by Drambi Vandi, says the victim was pregnant with twins. The bereaved woman said, "I cannot see the law again," of course, as she was called. People usually call her the law, and she was taken away from me. She was pregnant with twins.
But this is, of course, has been the very unfortunate incidents of this woman. There have been several reports of people who knew her personally. We saw the report of Toyin Lawani 2 days ago, and we saw the report of Bolanle Olukani, who shared her experience with her. Bolanle Olukani, of course, is a TV presenter. She bought a property recently, and she said Rahim Bolanle was a part of the journey towards helping her get a house. And then she said to her that she had asked her, "Is there anything you'd like me to pray for you about?" And Bolanle said she'd been waiting to have children for 8 years, and she wanted them to pray. She wanted Bolanle to pray. So she was pregnant. It just seemed like at a time when things were looking good for her, because this was really a good year for her and her husband, according to Bolanle Olukani. And then unfortunately this happens. But I mean, the good news is that Nigerians are not sweeping this under the carpet. The government is being held to account. The government has promised that justice will be done. But there's no amount of justice that would heal the hearts of the families, of the husband, of the parents who have unfortunately lost their daughter. We have tweets, people have reacted to this story, of course, so let's quickly take a few tweets. This is, of course, by Banky Wellington, Banky W. He says, "The death of Bolanle Rahim is completely heartbreaking. I can only imagine the kind of intense pain her family is going through. The policeman responsible must be brought to justice swiftly. The authorities must make an example out of him to deter others from this recklessness." Yeah. That is according to Banky W.
And this is from the PDP's presidential candidate. It says the shooting of Bolanle Rahim by a police officer is heartbreaking and stands condemned. The latest shooting calls to attention the urgent police reforms that will sanitize the force and bring it in line with best policing practices. We also have, of course, the Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. It says the murder of Mrs. Bolanle Rahim by a trigger-happy policeman underscores the need to bring thorough sanity into the Nigerian police force. Police officers should be the first layer of protection for citizens and shouldn't be consistently caught being the opposite.
There have, of course, been several reactions, and we have the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. He says, "I am shocked by the mindless killing of Mrs. Bolanle Rahim by a trigger-happy policeman on a Christmas day. Her death is a huge loss to our immediate and extended family. Like I've always said, a well-trained and professional police officer will not engage in police brutality." These are some of the tweets and the reactions by leading figures who have shared their thoughts, their condolences with the family of the bereaved, and have called on the government to hold the police to account. Not just the person who did the shooting, but the police as a whole. There have been calls for the reforms of the police. These calls have gone, seems like on deaf ears, but there have been calls over the years for the reform of the police.
We have this dance every
like maybe months. Exactly every month.
We do this every couple of months, you know, and the only reason this has gotten the level of publicity it's gotten now is because of who she was, and you know, social media and the amount of people who, you know, of course, would react this way when they see a young, thriving, you know, a lawyer. Oh, you know, that's why it's gotten this level of publicity. The guy from a couple of weeks ago didn't get this level of publicity, and you know, don't think he still will. Previous cases would maybe also not get this level of publicity. But the point is, we do this dance, this naked dance in the market every couple of months. They release press statements, they make promises. Politicians take advantage of it and, you know, use it to, you know, drive their own campaigns. But the Lagos State government, and I said this yesterday, that this could have been anybody. Yes. Anybody. We have colleagues in this office that live in Ajah, that live further down in that area of Lagos. This could have been anybody whatsoever. It's not just Bolanle who was at risk of being shot by a police officer in Lagos. Anybody, and that includes me and you and every other person who drives around Lagos.
As I read the story, I pictured, because I drive through that road, I make that turn, so it really could have been anybody.
That's the reality. The Lagos State government, the Nigerian government, had a chance to end these things in 2020. They've had a chance to end these things long ago, But when young Nigerians came out to protest police brutality in 2020, that protest was hijacked and eventually was turned into something else. And they told young Nigerians that, you know, they have sorted out whatever, you know, issues that they had with police brutality and everybody should go home.
Whereas what they did was
Eventually, the
just
army
maybe
came out.
branding, changed name, moved some
Yeah.
faces around. I think this just highlights also a further degradation, or rather a further decay in the process of selection. Because the question is, how are these people trained? What is their training modus like? The modus operandi of their selection, their training, because it should be an utter offense, a huge crime that would, you know, it doesn't seem like it's meant to be a crime, but it's not really a crime in the sense that people have killed people before Bolanle Rahim. Police officers have killed people, you know, carelessly. What has been done? So when you make an example of one or two people, then the others will know not to try that.
Right.
All right.